my honourable friend is absolutely right, but I think he perhaps misses one further element that needs to be brought into what was a pretty toxic mix at the time. And that further element, of course, was the role not of the rating agencies, who played their part in the bundling up of those subprime mortgages. And of course what they had done is they had, in order to securitize those into revenue streams for companies, what they had done is they had looked at the historic rate of default within the subprime sector. But they looked at that in 2005 when only 5% of the market was actually being sold to subprime, not in 2005 when 47% was being sold to subprime. Now, the effect of that, of course, was that many companies had security streams which were not very secure. And the piece of the toxic mix that I think we need to introduce here is actually in relation to the way in which hedge funds then brought to bear their financial might. I give way, Mr. Gray.
I think you're not giving way to the Chair. I think we're resuming our seat. The Honourable Gentleman was making a very interesting discussion about the cause of the banking crisis. I think he has to relate the discussion particularly to Amendment 9, which we're discussing this evening, rather than more general dilation on the subject.
Mr. Gray, of course, I wish to abide by your rule. I am referring to earlier comments in our debate, which I'm sure you heard when the Honourable Gentleman from Wokingham, who was not ruled out of order, gave a very interesting discussion on the history of the context that we're now in.
It does seem to be important that we should relate the debate to what we're supposed to be debating, namely Amendment 9 to the clause. So I'm not aware of what happened previously. I suggest the Honourable Gentleman might like to relate his comments directly to the amendment.
Quite right.
Very happy to do so, Mr. Gray. We're talking about a bank levy, and in Amendment 9, it talks about the government's analysis behind the rate and threshold chosen for the bank levy.